Good morning, Hojo staff, students, and families. Yahateyabina, we're ready to start our day. So please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Voices are off and bodies are still. Eyes are on the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, December 9th. And we're ready to start with some music from Mrs. Neff. Do you remember what we listened to yesterday? It's a new selection. Let's listen to the same selection, but in the native language.
There are infant...
Or not, because there's a commercial. Okay. Do you remember the title is Finlandia by Jean Sibelius? And the words are, this is my home. This is where my heart is. This is where my dreams and aspirations are, that I love my country. Do you say the same thing? Do we love America? Most people have that sense of patriotism, that connection to their country. And Finland's no exception. When they fought for their independence and have songs and stories, just like we do. So that's John Sibelius and Finlandia. For our poem this week, we have a catchy little rhyme from the 3rd grade group of poems, and it's by Eve Merriam. Catch a little rhyme. Once upon a time, I caught a little rhyme. I set it on the floor, but it ran right out the door. I chased it on my bicycle, but it melted to an icicle. I scooped it in my hat, but it turned into a cat. I caught it by the tail, but it stretched into a whale. I followed it in a boat, but it changed into a goat. When I fed it tin and paper, it became a tall skyscraper. Then it grew into a kite and flew far out of sight. That would be an easy one for us to memorize, don't you think? If I leave off those words, it's a little clue, right, to know what the next word is and the context of it. So hopefully you could do that with me. Catch a Little Rhyme by Eve Merriam. If you were in 3rd grade, you'd be memorizing that poem. Okay, for art, do you remember this piece? This hangs in our school, and we have a bigger one in the office. It's hard to see with the glare of the window. John Trumbull's The Signing of the Declaration of Independence. That's right. Since we were talking about Finlandia's independence, I thought it might be interesting to go back and talk about our independence. So instead of doing the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, let's try to remember the Declaration of Independence. Remember, we learned this last year, and we were pretty good at it by the end of the year. Most of you could do it. So let's see if you remember. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundations in such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Were you able to do that with me? Were you able to remember most of it? Oh, we're going to have to get back into practice so that we can just rattle these off and know them. They're so important. There's so much in that Declaration of Independence that tells us why we have our independence, what our responsibilities are, what we can expect from our government. So it's important that we not forget that. Okay, friends, we do have a couple of birthdays to announce. Today is Olivia's birthday, and Tamika's birthday, and Adam's birthday. I hope the three of you have a great day today. For announcements, if you selected to help us out for the adoption of the group home, you may bring in your items anytime, but we need them before the 16th. And thank you so much for your help with that. I think I might be able to send out a new list with a few more items, since a number of people have asked me if they could participate, and everybody was so generous and so quick to fill in all of those needs that some people who wanted to participate couldn't. So we're going to try to do that again so we can have a few more items for people to select. Hopefully I'll get that out to you today. The other announcement I need to make is that the next couple of days there is some snow in our forecast. We never know how that's going to play out. And normally what we would do is listen to the news to see if Gallup-McKinley County schools closed. But since they're already remote, they may not make an announcement because they're already remote, and there'd be no sense to say that schools were closed because they're doing schools remotely anyway. And so we will make an announcement on our Facebook page, and we'll make an announcement by sending an email to all of you, and we will let you know by no later than 7 a.m. if school is delayed or canceled. So be looking in both of those places by 7 a.m. So either tomorrow or the next day, if the roads are icy. Now, even if school is not canceled, because sometimes in town it's not too icy, but sometimes where I live it's very icy. And so even if school is not canceled, if you cannot make it here safely, then please just decide to stay home and do remote work for that day. So that's all we have for announcements. So let's do our student pledge. I will do the good, I will learn the true, and I will love the beautiful. And I hope you have a great day today.